And we put them in a lot of different roles. I think you saw that today. But, when you have that many young guys first and second-year players playing, guys that just strictly play special teams, step up and have an impact on the game to help us win, I mean, that's a building block for us going forward.
Antonio, I know you already said earlier this week that you saw your team display character this week, but to see them come back off a loss last week, fell into a 10-0 hole early in this game and respond the way they did, what did that tell you about your team?
I mean, I knew what group I had. I mean, don't want to go backwards, but that wasn't the team that we're accustomed to seeing and that has shown up over the last, several games. But, there was a trying week, to be honest, right? There's a lot of, hoopla and stuff, and it probably started with me with my comments, and, I apologize to him for that. Don't want to be a distraction that way, but I think at the end of the day, we just went to work each and every day, and things came out throughout the week, and guys just never flinched and blinked. And then we just talked about playing one play at a time, playing for one another. Adam Butler spoke to the team, did a hell of a job with that, and got us going throughout the weekend.
AP, you've talked about building a culture of winning. How much can this last week go towards building that?
Yeah, I mean, we had this opportunity, 2 weeks ago after the Baltimore win. And again, my word is going to stay that's just trying to build that winning consistency, winning stamina each and every week, and hopefully not riding a roller coaster. But we're really going to take this and enjoy this for 24 hours because it's hard to get in the National Football League. Our home crowd was, again, outstanding, especially late in the game. They really helped us out.
Cleveland went 3 for 3 on third down on that opening drive, didn't convert another third down the rest of the game. What do you see that helped flip that script and get you guys to respond in the way you needed them to?
I mean, I think, obviously they executed, and they went to a better player, right? Number 2 showed up on 2 or 3 of those, Cooper. And I think as the game plan went on, we did a good job of, finding, the guys that are the key players in those situations. But then more importantly, I think our rush and our coverage added up and made the quarterback hold the ball a little bit. And we got some throws and some errant throws that we wanted. And obviously one of them we took advantage of and got an interception.
Going back to the younger guys, Isaiah Palomalo with a sack and a big pass breakup late in that game. And then also Jacorian seems to just keep showing up every week, if you could talk about those two players. Yeah, I mean, Isaiah, and I kind of mentioned earlier in the week, he's played, close to 250 snaps over 3 years on defense, but primary special teams as well as we know. And we were just waiting to get him out there, and the opportunity came with Marcus Epps going down, and I thought he did an outstanding job all week of just really being focused, spending more time in the classroom, Gerald Alexander spending more time with him. And then really Trayvon, it's difficult when you just all of a sudden you got a new guy next to you and you communicate. I mean, there's continuity that goes into that as well. But he came up huge and big. And then, JB just, listen, I've been saying it, just, steady Eddie. I mean, he just keeps improving each and every week. And I think the best thing about him, as a corner, you're going to get balls caught on you. You just got to move on. And even tonight, ball got caught on, just move on. Then we need him on third down. He makes a huge play for us. So hats off to those two.
Coach, could you talk a little about the running game? I know how much it means to you, and it seemed today for the first time, especially between the tackles, you guys seem to be grinding out some yards. Yeah, a lot of pride in that group, and we talked about it's been, not the start that we wanted initially in our season, the first 3 games running football. But, credit to these guys, just, listen, let's find the runs that work. Let's keep chipping away at it. And at times, even in the game, there's a 1 to 2 yard run. Then all of a sudden, I mean, what was it? You saw a 24-yarder, 17-yarder, 18-yarder, 12 and a 10. That hadn't shown up. We hadn't even, I think our longest run might have been 9 without penalties. But I thought, tremendous job by those guys. I thought Zamir backed up, almost, took one. Alex Madison really showed up today. He ran hard. These guys ran hard. I thought we were the more physical team as the game went on.
AP, would you talk about your 2 rookie offensive linemen, please?
Yeah. Didn't see that coming, in the first 4 games. But I said it last week. I thought Jackson Powers did an outstanding job in his 20 plays with his energy, his effort, his physicality. I mean, it was getting to a point where the referees was warning me about, his play style. And that's what we're looking for. And DJ is just one of those guys. There's going to be some corrections, but when you watch his play and you watch his body of work, he's just consistent. I don't think there was a penalty or anything on him tonight. I know Jackson had 2. But for those guys to go out there against that defense, which is a very elite front 7, and to play the way they did, hats off to them and our coaches.
I know Charles Snowden has been in the league for a few years now, but this is really his first time getting extended run in the regular season. I mean, on that final drive between the pass breakup and sacking Watson at the end, two pretty big plays for him. What have you seen, just his overall growth?
Well, man, it's interesting how certain guys' careers work, right? Here's a guy who gets drafted, practice squad, journeyman. We pick him up last year. And to be honest, you saw it in the spring. He gained some weight. You're like, oh, man, he's making some, some flash plays. didn't work out initially. We don't put him on an active roster, on a 50-man roster. He goes to practice squad. Injuries happen. He gets pulled up, and we've asked him to do a lot, from special teams to playing linebacker to playing DN. That height, that length, and more importantly, his effort. I thought that was a prime example of that last play, just full blown. We need to have it. It's 4th and 3, game on the line, and he did everything he could. Robbie and Andre Carter, all those hours that we spend on the side, work with players extra and longer, really came to fruition tonight.
Antonio, I know Jack Jones didn't play that first quarter. Is that just kind of that sign of that accountability that you've referenced in the past?
Yeah, that was my decision. That's between me and Jack.
Coach, can you talk a little about the spirit of court this week compared to last? It seemed like the effort this week was pretty much right on.
Yeah, because last week was disappointing. And if it's one thing we can do, we control our effort and our energy and our passion and love for the game, which I always speak about. And that didn't show up last week, and that's on me. But this week, man, they kind of took the bull by the horns. And what I love seeing, and I'm glad nothing's happened from an official standpoint, is that when we make a play, you turn around, it's just Raiders running right and left, celebrating from the interception to those 2 touchdowns late in the game. The way these guys, really gel together, I think, especially this week when there was a lot of people poking holes at our team and individuals, that they stuck together.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Gardner Minshew's coming in right now.
Gardner, could you please talk about your 2 rookie offensive linemen tonight?
Man, stepped in and played huge roles in our win today, man, against a really good defense, a really good defensive front. Those dudes stepped in, didn't hesitate, and did exactly what we needed them to do. Cool.
Obviously, this team has wanted to run the ball effectively all season. Today it finally did. How much easier was your job knowing that these guys could get the critical yards at the critical times?
Yeah, it was huge, man. Hats off, to the O-line. They really locked it in. They've been challenged, these last 3 weeks, and they really turned it on today and played a great game. And then our backs, Z and Alex, ran hard, got some big plays, big first downs. And when you're able to do that, keep us on track, and then the play action stuff starts working, it makes everything easier.
Gardner, what was your reaction when you were down 10-0? What was your mindset at that point?
I was just going to score the next drive, These games are long. They're always long. So, you just got to keep punching, keep giving yourself chances. Have faith in our defense that they're not going to, just keep giving up points. Like, they tighten the screws and, shut them down. And, that's the reason we won the game. So, just keeping the faith in the other side of the other 2 sides of the ball was big.
Gardner, over here, coming off lost Carolina, being without Max and Devontae today, what does it say about the fortitude of this team?
Oh, it was huge, man. A lot of adversity this week. There's no doubt about it. But I was happy to see how we responded. I think coming Friday practice, we kind of turned the corner. The overall mood of the team changed, and everybody was really feeling it again. So it was fun to get out there and play some real team football. And I'm excited to build on this and keep moving forward.
Gardner, how important is it for a quarterback to be able to get so many different players involved? You literally had a multiplicity of guys touch the football. How important is that to be successful in this league?
Yeah, it's huge, man. I think that's what balance is. It's not always run pass, but how do you get all your players touches? We had guys that, even with a couple touches, really had impact in the game. DJ, speed sweep, huge. Brock on that first speed sweep, he didn't have as many yards or catches, but really impactful plays. We had several guys that filled that role today, man, and it was awesome, man. It felt like a real team win.
How fun was that for you just to see the flashes of speed, not only get in the end zone for DJ Turner and Trey Tucker, but also just kind of bring a new energy and life to the stadium and the crowd as well?
Oh, absolutely, man. Those dudes, they're legit, Trey, real deal burner. We got to figure out, how to let him run, how to get him the ball, let him run. And same with DJ, man. From the preseason, from camp, that dude's just continued to make plays and be a really good player. So got to continue to build with them, and I'm excited for where this thing can go. Good. Thank you. Oh, you got.
Yeah, Gardner, I wanted to ask you, you lose the first game, you go on the road, have a big win against Baltimore, then the letdown against Carolina. Now you've got the momentum again, but you're going on the road against Denver, a division game. How do you guys keep it in check to make sure what happened last week doesn't happen again?
For sure, man. I think I don't know. It felt like the mood was off last week, the vibe was off, and I feel like as long as we continue to foster that, the celebrations in the end zone, the celebrating big plays in practice, like as long as we're having a smile and like, enjoying what we're doing, enjoying the people we're around, I think we're a really good football team. All right. Thank y'all.